Hey, Zach.
Hey, Alex.
And welcome, everyone, to the Pokemon Power
Podcast.
Zach, I don't think that was synced up at all. One single bit. I think the listener turned it off in anger. that was done poorly.
For me, it was perfect.
You think it was perfect? Perfect to a deaf man?
Well, here's maybe some of the problem. It probably isn't because I don't have my headphones plugged in with the plug. It's on Bluetooth. So I think that's probably really giving me, I'm hearing everything like 30 seconds late.
Yeah, nothing says professionalism like trusting over the air communications. Come on, Zach.
I know. It's not professional me. It's
Get
bad.
your poo together, Zach.
I know.
Get it together. Welcome to the most combative Pokemon podcast on the market. If you would like
enemies,
your host,
two people who despise each other have a podcast
I
about
loved you
a
at the beginning of this
game.
podcast. Now I hate you. What happened?
No, it's fine. Totally understandable.
Hey, it's time for the like and subscribe jingle. Zach, people love your dulcet tones. Do you want to sing it?
Oh, but I already forgot all the words, though. I mean, but I'll give you that first note. Like them, subscribe them, and follow them. Leave a review where you don't yell.
Pokemon Power Podcast. See, that changed the whole vibe. Now we're all loving it. This is a great show again. The president himself just endorsed this podcast. He doesn't anymore. He only endorses 14/20ths of this podcast. Okay.
He made it political within the first
Zach,
1 minute.
You know what? What is a human being but his open willingness to confront others? It's time for update time. Real quick, a couple cool things to update on. Number one, Redwall, the fantasy children's series that Zach wants to insert Nidoran Mail into so he does something worthwhile for once, is being turned into a Netflix animated series, or not series, feature, directed by the creator of Over the Garden Wall.
And I think that's great news. Ding, great news.
Is that
that's our great
now?
News segment? Yeah, we start off with great news. That's great news.
I don't know Redwall except for you telling me about it that one episode that we talked about it briefly. But I'm excited about this. I think I like Over the Garden Wall quite a bit, and I also think I like cute animals. And I think that'll be cute animals in that show.
Yep.
Doing cute stuff.
Yeah. And epic things and heroic things. And I think that, for the listeners that haven't seen Over the Garden Wall, there's a level of cuteness, but also weirdness in that show.
Real
concern. A decent amount.
Yeah.
A decent amount. But I think that Redwall won't have the weirdness, but I think if you change weirdness to like heroic, intense, maybe I think that'll be able to capture some of like the
take away the scary moments, add in intense moments is kind of what you're thinking.
Okay. Like I'm thinking like Taken, but a cartoon with animals. That's what I'm thinking.
What Pokemon do you want to see in it? Nidoran Male confirmed as the lead. Who else do you want in there?
Wow, I wasn't expecting this. I really hadn't thought through this, but I mean, obviously, you got to put Pikachu in it if you want this thing to sell.
What
Pikachu has to be the lead?
What weapon does Pikachu have? A lance?
I know, cool. Oh man, if Pikachu had, a halberd.
Oh sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like 5 times the size of him. But he's like wielding it with like tail lightning power.
But you could give the halberd to a Delibird, and then it's like. Hallibird. This is a bad segment.
I mean, obviously Farfetch'd would be in it though. What I'm talking about, Farfetch'd already carries a weapon.
He's walking around with his leek. That's basically just a big sword.
Let's put some blades on that. Let's make it deadly.
I love it.
You got yourself a show.
Far-fetched to give it to us.
That's a show. That's in the next segment too.
These are your new catchphrases. Is this going to be on our hats?
Bading is what I say.
Great news. Bading, great show. The other thing to update on is I lost the bet. The national anthem went over for the big game. We're supposed to legally call it the big game, not
big game.
The other thing that took place on February 7th, where the
halftime show,
the Buccaneers faced off against the Chiefs. We bet on the national anthem, whether it be over or under 2 minutes. I said under, Zach said over. It went well over 2 minutes. I lost, but it's my joy to lose because I get to watch the I get to watch
something to do with Pokemon.
I get to watch the Pokemon trading card tournament from 2020 for Oceania. I don't know if I got the pronunciation right, but either way, I'm going to watch it and I'm going to come back with a report because I'm very fascinated. And actually, Zach, I didn't tell you this. I finished last week's record. And you know what I did immediately? I went and I boned up.
Pokemon.
No, I boned up on the trading card game. I watched
you studied it.
I watched an explanation of how to build a good deck that the Pokemon channel released, and I was very fascinated. I think I'm going to get into the trading card game, bro.
Oh, man. Well, I can't wait to find out that I have a bad deck. I mean, I think that's what I'm excited about. I mean, I have a Psychic Grass deck. Was that good?
Did you build it around one Pokemon?
I built it around kind of 2 Pokemon.
I remember you said Giratina.
Yeah, Giratina was the Psychic Grass, but then also I had Mewtwo in the deck.
Interesting. I would say no. That's a bad deck. You did a bad job. Throw your deck in a fire, Zach. Okay. It is time for the icebreaker for today's episode, and we're going to go back to an old favorite of probably just me.
Yep, for
Master
sure.
Pokemon Trainer, your friendship gainer. This is the segment where we are going to grab one of the famous Pokemon gym leaders, and we've kind of just been working our way through the original gym leaders for the Kanto region. We've been working our way through these and deciding whether or not they should stay a famous gym leader or if they should become our best friend. And today's example is going to be Lieutenant Surge. Zach, what do you think of Lieutenant Surge?
Number one, military. You obviously get that vibe. You know, he's got the uniform on. He's wearing the Pokeballs like the, kind of weird guys wear their
like a grenade almost.
Yeah, a grenade. That's what I was thinking. Sure. I was thinking the guys that carry like little cell phone pouches on the outside of their belts, but grenades are cooler. And his face tells me
grenades.
I don't want to talk to this
guy.
Cell
phones of death.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not a fan from my first glance. I don't feel like we'd have a friendship gainer. But
I'm going to give you some. I'll give you some.
Read a book by. Judge a book by its cover, or read the book by its cover.
Sure. Based on your Lieutenant Surge's appearance, which appears to be a man from the Aryan race, Zach is not a fan.
He's an angry guy.
Let me give you some things, and I'm going to blow your mind right out the gate. Zach, do you want to know what Lieutenant Surge's nickname is?
Lieutenant Loot.
The Lightning American.
Wow. So this guy's American. Is that what we're finding out?
He's an American. And I actually wonder, I think Capcom, if you want, I think you have a lawsuit that you could pull to sue Nintendo for breaking trademark on Guile from Street Fighter because he looks very similar stylistically. He is said to be an American. They even say in a magazine that you can find in game. This is from a magazine called Pokemon Journal. Zach, I think me and you should make that magazine, by the way.
All right, let's make it.
Lieutenant Surge is rumored to have been a pilot while home in America. He used the electricity generated by Pokemon to power his plane.
Wow. Ingenuity.
Sure.
But the way that it makes it sound is like it was sneaky and also bad. I don't know.
You don't think he should be using Pokemon in that way?
It's like powering his fighter jet as he blows down the enemy. Yeah, but also it just seems like he was doing that without anyone knowing. Like if it wasn't like a train he was conductor. Part of the Pokemon. He was part of the special Pokemon team that they used Pokemon together as teammates to power. That's not what it sounds like. It sounds like he's trapped this Pokemon and he's like, I'm using your electricity to give my plane a little extra juice so I can win this.
If he was like working in the as a train conductor or something like that, and it was like, yeah, he uses the power of Pokemon to power his trains. You'd be like, this guy's tossing Pokemon in the fuel.
Yeah, he's just like, here you are, sit inside, you're running circles inside the engine
I think he's just tossing them in the fire so it keeps burning.
Just using them as fuel. That is it.
Bunch of pseudo woodos, and he's like, why are these things burning?
Oh my
gosh. Dummy. I wanted to bring up a couple things though. Wait. In the anime, he does show up in the episode Electric Shock Showdown. He was quick to show off his powerful Raichu upon Ash's arrival at the Vermilion Gym. Lieutenant Surge then laughed at the sight of Pikachu and mocked him for his apparent weakness.
It's so great because it's as if he didn't have a Pikachu at some point.
Right.
Like he's like
somehow he never had. I mean, maybe he traded
have that little Pokemon. Yeah, he traded only for a Raichu. They're like, you could just enjoy a life with Pikachu and he'll evolve into Raichu. No.
Pokemon are fuel. Pokemon are not friends.
I don't want to see that dumb little tiny cute Pokemon.
I'm about American individuality, not about friendship. That's some Russian garbage.
No.
But here's the thing that really got me.
Yeah.
In the manga, in the Pokemon Adventures manga, Lieutenant Surge is a straight up bad guy.
Good.
Lieutenant Surge is one of the evil sub leaders of Team Rocket.
That makes sense because look at his face.
He's working for Giovanni. And here's another bit. This just blew me away.
Yeah.
I started to realize how insane the Pokemon Adventures manga gets. Lieutenant Surge captured Zapdos at the abandoned power plant under Giovanni's orders. He then fought Red, who is essentially Ash, at Silphco, while with an electrode bazooka and a magneton shield, all powered by his newly caught Zapdos. The Pokemon manga apparently just goes in a wild direction.
Wait, so he is, I don't remember if you remember me bringing up being like a mad scientist Pokemon guy, but he's who I want to be, actually. I didn't like him at first, but he's like using the Pokemon as items. He's, it's a shield and then powered by another Pokemon. Wow.
That's the last I got. Is he your friend?
I'm in. Yeah, I want to learn the ways. Teach me the way.
So
teach me the way of
just to be sure, just to clear it up. Upon being given the chance, Zach, you would become like an evil overlord type who is creating.
You know what? I think, as we've learned from all current movies it's all about perspective. These bad guys, you just got to learn their backstory, and you find out maybe the only reason that I wanted to snap away everyone ever was because I really loved everyone. I just wanted less people, and the reason that I'm using Pokemon is because I really love them so much that I want them to just do whatever I say.
Yeah, maybe the reason that you want power is because the love of your life Vision died. And now you've gone crazy.
Yep. You get it. See,
I'm being facetious. Zach and I like WandaVision. We watch it and chat about it. And our other podcast, Podnavision. Okay, that's a terrible pun. But one other thing I noticed in the Podnavision, in the Pokemon Adventures manga, I just kept reading, and it says this at one point. Sometime later, the Elite Four tried to destroy humanity. I just thought to myself, this is a different. They went in a different direction.
I love this so much.
I do want to find these. I want to find these and read these. I think they would be fascinating.
Because I would, as an adult, way more enjoy the game if you find out it's like, come defeat the Elite Four, because it's like so that you could be elite, but it's like no, you got to defeat them because they're
trying to destroy humanity.
They're going to just destroy everything. Please stop them. And the only way, the police, they don't exist. The governments don't exist. Military
Officer
doesn't
Jenny,
exist.
She ain't helping out.
Just you, 9-year-old child, could you please stop these grown adults from destroying the world? What better game to play?
Yeah. It teaches kids the value of questioning authority. Well, Zach, it's that time of the show that we are going to elucidate. We're going to figure out exactly who's going to describe today's Pokemon in 30 seconds. We are going to bring up a coin. All season long, I am going to be tails. All season long, Zach is going to be heads. I'm going to flip the coin.
All season long, it's going to keep going tails every time?
It's going to be me every single time, which means I will, if it does land on tails, I will describe the Pokemon in 30 seconds without using the Pokemon's name, any other Pokemon's name, and the word cute. And maybe we'll add another word soon. Let's see what it's going to land on. Oh, it's heads! Zach, it's your turn. You got to describe it today. I was not ready
for this. I'm just so rusty now. I haven't done it in so long.
We'll see how you do. But I've got it all set up. Zach, do you feel ready to describe today's Pokemon? All right, I'm going to bring it up on the screen, and you can just start describing in 3, 2, 1.
All right. What we're looking at here is a floating ball that has picture a beach ball that's exploding with little puffs of air that look like gross, disgusting poison. You got a little poison symbol on there. He's purple. He's got a little mouth on him, and he's got oh shoot, the geysers. What are those things called? Natural geysers all over his body that look like pimples, but they're shooting out gross gas.
You're done. Shooting gross gas. Is that today's episode name?
Shooting gross gas. That's it. We found it.
All right. Well, with that in mind, Zach, I must ask, who's that Pokemon?
This is the one, the only, the gross Koffing.
It is Koffing. My good man. Exciting.
Koffing. You actually can't do that. It's a bad joke. It's in bad taste.
Let me see. What we are about 15 minutes into today's record. Can we make the remaining 15 minutes just us coughing the whole time?
This is good stuff. This is what they come for.
Not only were we combative against each other, but we are also trying to fight away an audience. Apparently.
Exactly.
Zach, what do you think of Koffing?
So I'll be honest. Anytime I've ever played Pokemon, this has never been a Pokemon that I would choose to be a part of my team. I'm a power guy. I also like my Pokemon generally to have legs, and I like them to be on the ground unless it's like a Haunter. Then it's okay, but then I really want them to be a Gengar, which is basically on the ground. So Zach, I don't know what it is. I'm a legist. No.
Zach's message to any paraplegics out there: he's not interested. Stay away.
No. You have to be near the ground. That's what it is. Okay. So floating things I don't like. Okay. Paraplegics do not float as far as I understand how the current science around, having people be able to move. So what I'm saying is I never picked him and it didn't seem like he was as strong, but the more that I've thought about who he is, what he does, is disgusting and I love it. And I mean, that's where I'm at now. So as a child, no good. But as a man, I think I'm all about him. I don't know.
Okay. I almost wonder if I went through the opposite, Zach.
Really?
I was very excited to talk about Koffing. I wrote you yesterday. I said, Zach, we got a good one. We're talking about Koffing. And then I researched, and I think I'm not as into Koffing, everything said and done. But let me go crazy. Let me go through some of the stuff.
So crazy that you have that, because it's the exact. The more that I looked into what he's like, I was like, "This is great, dude."
Hit me with what you love about it. I want you to convince me, because I was in love with Koffing. I fell out.
Number one, he's just going around drinking up garbage fumes all the time, just going near garbage pits, just drinking up those fumes, mixing it together inside of him. So he has this terrible combustive gas inside of him that at any moment he himself could explode.
He's always ready to explode. Yes.
But also is leaking out this gas that's not killing people, but it's so bad that it makes everyone cough and or choke.
Yes.
And I mean, How great is that? How great is it? I'll go deeper into also some things I think are interesting about him. Maybe a little global warming stuff going on here a little bit, because I think there's some interesting things about where he is found normally.
Tell me more. I want to hear your theories on global warming on when it comes to coughing. Not your other theories about global warming. just the coughing related one.
Oh, yeah. So
here's the thing. It's a conspiracy theory made up by
Bading conspiracy theory time. Global warming is real. It's caused by real life coughings. That's what it is. No. Okay. So coughing, if you didn't know, found mainly in cities because it's like a trash Pokemon, which is, great. I mean, obviously later on, you're going to know there's more trash Pokemon. It's just a thing that I guess Pokemon loves to have. Like, hey, every time we got to have a trash Pokemon come out here. Garbodor, just a pile of trash.
Rubbish. Yeah.
So coughing is found in cities where there's more trash, kind of making us think a little bit more conscious about what's going on here, because this guy, he's out there trash. But then I was pictured in my mind because it says in one of the Pokedex entries that it's like, if there's high heat temperatures, watch out, because he's just going to explode all the time. So then I'm picturing like, one of those like sweltering heat waves in this big urban environment. And if you lived in Pokemon world, you'd have to always be on edge for watching out. If there's any trash anywhere, you'd have like the dumpsters out there. If it's hot, you're going to have these exploding Pokemon all over, just dangerous everywhere. And like, I don't know if you've been in an urban environment, but most of them get hot. I don't know any place in the world that's not a big urban city that doesn't get unbearably hot, and that some of those garbage cans are just reeking. So now I'm like smelling that hot garbage smell, and that's what coughing smells like. But not only that, but he's also just like a floating bomb, and I'm like, that's so cool. That's so cool. Sure. Is it useful on my Pokemon team? No, certainly not. But is it a cool backstory? All of this weirdness going on in him. There's a couple other things, but I want you to just get a little picture of some of the things that I think just in my mind thinking that's cool.
Yeah.
Floating garbage.
Okay.
Garbage bomb.
I think the idea of a garbage bomb is fun. As I looked more and more into coughing, I started to walk away less with the polluted idea, although I do think it's there. For instance, actually, Zach, I don't know if you saw this. In the red and blue beta, coughing's name, and that was Nye, which was short for New York.
Ooh, I thought it was like Bill Nye the Science Guy, and they're like, Bill Nye is garbage.
No.
Like, man, rough take.
Global warming speak.
Yeah,
that's not my belief. I'm just joking. But coughing was Nye, and wheezing was La for LA.
That's hilarious. Yeah, because they're just floating smog balls.
Yes, but here's
floating
where
smog balls. There's a good title.
I think I've ended. Sure. Is this what this podcast is? Just us trying to name the episode? I'll say some ridiculous stuff in a minute. Don't worry, we'll get it.
Yeah. That'll be good.
Here's where I started to get lost. I think his whole existence is a fart joke. In Japanese, in Japan, his name is Dogars, which I know I'm probably not pronouncing right. I look
for sure not.
I don't know. It
didn't sound like Japanese at all.
But Dogars is his name, which is constructed out of the word do, which is the Japanese word for bad, and then gas. His name is literally in Japanese bad gas.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Let me hit you with something.
You're just putting your juvenile bad gas as in like
I let you
this
go
is
on
a
your
bad
thing. Your spiel,
because I'm not misrepresenting things. Okay, and I don't need you over here just gaslighting coughing.
I'm not. I'm not trying to gaslight the Dogas Pokemon.
Okay. Go ahead.
In Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Koffing will say the following when he's between 51% to 100% HP. Ooh, I'm feeling a little bloated with gas. Can I release some?
I love it. Yes.
When he's between 1% health and 25% health. I can't hold it anymore. Beware of leaking gases. And when he levels up, he says, yes, I'm leveling up. Do I stink any worse?
Yes.
I think that, and you read all these Pokedex entries, and the one thing I did think, I didn't want to read any of them really. They all kind of go over the same thing, like you were talking about. He's exploding trash bomb, but one of them in X says its thin balloon-like body is inflated by horribly toxic gases. It reeks when it's nearby. I think that's the only. I haven't double checked it. Maybe I will later. It's the only Pokedex entry I can think of that says reeks in it. Like it's just
that's probably true.
I just think they made this Pokemon. Maybe the idea came first, maybe the name came first, but I think they came up with it. They're like, let's just pile on every stinky fart idea onto this Pokemon that we can. Maybe they're tying a couple things together, but I kept reading this and kept feeling like, man, this is a stinky fart Pokemon.
It's horrible toxic gas, okay? So when you say
it's like when you eat too many bean burritos.
That's not toxic. That is stinky, and you might be stinky, Alex, but that's not toxic. But also,
I'm not
toxic
stinky. You're
gases,
stinky.
The toxic gases do smell bad, especially if it's a big pile of trash together mixed with other horrible toxic gases. And let me tell you this right here: his body is full of poisonous gas. Okay, poisonous, and it floats into garbage dumps, seeking out the fumes of raw, rotting trash. So obviously he's gonna be a bad stinky boy. Okay,
look at the face on this guy. You know what that face says? Oops, I just tooted. That's what that face says. Who was that? Was that me?
Yeah, I do kind of see him making those jokes. I could see that. But until he becomes, when he evolves up, becomes a crazy, creepy mutant looking thing. Okay, so I mean,
sure.
Come on.
I think okay, look, I'm just going to say, I think that you're right. I think there is definitely an element of the pollution there, but I kept reading this stuff and it kept coming back in my brain of like, especially those mystery dungeon ones. I'm like, someone just wanted to like do a little innuendo, be like, fart. Like, don't you think farts are funny? Okay. And I just,
here's the thing. So in my mind, Pokemon, I understand. That's fine. But I see it as a toxic, a toxic gas Pokemon, which I think is, obviously he's got the little skull and crossbones that's on there. And just imagine if this is what you see floating. Look at this face. Look at that. Look at how angry he is. It's a little bit of the same cue, but that's kind of like this, it's a little toxic guy. Okay.
He does have a little angry face here. Yes.
And I think that if you only showing the pictures of him smiling like a goober while he's, pushing out his little fart clouds. But I think that there's more to him. I don't think that it's as much of, I think that, yes, as a middle school brain person, we can read everything as talking about Toots. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what it is actually saying is noxious garbage gas that's happening. By the way, this is definitely a pollution.
That's definitely this episode's name is talking about Toots.
Talking about Toots.
I wanted to really quickly do another segment before we go into the Pokeball decision. We've done this one before. Pokemon producer. You are a Pokemon producer. You produce Pokemon stuff. Your boss, Junichi Masuda, comes in and tells you he wants every Pokemon to be a star. Our job's going to be Koffing. We can come up with a game, a movie, whatever, really, some sort of product to sell Koffing as if he's Pikachu, as if he's Mew, as if he's one of these starring Pokemon, because we want every Pokemon to be a star, whether he's global warming or whether he is a fart. But with mine in mind, I already have one lined up, so I'll give mine first.
Fine.
Koffing whoopee cushion.
No.
Come on. You get a purple whoopee cushion. It just has Koffing's big smiling face on it, and you put that underneath someone's booty. They sit right down on that, and it lets out Koffing when they sit on it. Come on. You tell me if that released today, and you go on Amazon or wherever, some company that doesn't abuse their employees. You go to some place to buy this, and let's say it's $8. You're not going to buy this for $8.
No,
You
no,
sit on it.
$8. No,
then you sit on it, and it goes like coughing.
I was looking for a picture of something that was going to help me with my case because
You know what, Zach? I think I defeated my own case because at the end of this, I have just turned into making my own farting jokes, and so
yeah,
maybe
I mean, that's really what's happening. So this is what I say. I the smiling face definitely doesn't help my case. But what I want to do here is this is from someone here, Joshua Dunlop on DeviantArt, but I think they have a picture here that I want to show you. So this is what I'm imagining. You play this commercial. We rebrand Koffing as like underwater mines. You have like those like a scene of like this like boat.
Yeah. He kind of looks like that.
It's ominous. You've got like it's dark, and you just see them, and you're filled with terror. And then instead of that, it's like a floating field of them. And so you get that they're scary, and maybe you still buy a whoopee cushion in the end. I don't know, but I think that you rebrand them as like this is like these guys are like the bad guys, right? These ones are sweet and cute, and so you're like kind of like, oh, maybe they're smiling, but really they're bad news. And so I want to pull up this because it's actually pretty scary. This picture here.
Don't scare our fans. I'm scared.
Look at that! Look at that skin on it. Does it zoom in?
Zach pulled up a very realistic looking picture of Koffing, made by who did you say? Jake Dunlap, Josh Dunlap.
Josh Dunlap.
Shout out! Come on the show. Yeah. If I saw this thing in real life, Zach,
yeah,
I would turn to my wife and be like, "Look at this farting maniac over here."
Okay, here's the thing, though.
I'd be like, "Get this farting maniac out of my face."
Have you ever? You see a field of these, okay, and they're sitting out there, and they're like laughing and smiling.
If I see a field of these, I'm moving.
They're full of toxic gases, so they're probably a little messed up in the head, okay, and they're floating there. And have you ever seen the 1980s movie Big Trouble in Little China?
I actually have never seen that. I'm aware of it.
Oh my goodness!
I know it's a classic.
I kind of imagine that it's in like this like quarter, like you're having to get through some place. So the hero's trying to get through, and like they can't make it through, and they would like touch one of these, and they start like seizing up or something. I mean, this is like a real bad guy.
Sure.
And I got to get this picture out of here because it's actually scaring me a little bit.
Too scary. Joshua Dunlop, you scared us. Come on the show.
Scared us real good. Come on the show. There's also some other ones on here with realistic Pokemon drawings, and
we got to keep moving forward, buddy.
They're okay, but just one more. So I think you really get the feel here on this one. This is also
okay. We're appreciating your work. This is the Joshua Dunlap podcast. Welcome to the Joshua Dunn pod. This is a very realistic wheezing that Zach has pulled up on the screen. These things look like they're in pain.
They're filled with toxic gases. You're seeing like some like ooze coming out of the mouths and stuff. And I think
they look like
that's
Rick
pretty
from
cool.
Rick and Morty.
Oh my god!
They have permanent drool on their face.
Yeah, exactly.
Zach, it's time for the Pokeball decision. This is the segment on the show where we assign a Pokeball to today's Pokemon, depending on how badly do we want it, not taking into consideration rarity or strength or anything like that. Really just how badly do we want this Pokemon. We can give it a Pokeball, Great Ball, Ultra Ball, Master Ball. We can also throw a rock and flee. Zach, what would you like to give Koffing?
This is easy, man. For sure, no one should ever throw a rock, because you throw a rock, that Koffing has super thin skin. It's going to explode.
Blowing up. Yeah.
You're blowing up. Bad news. Don't throw a rock. That's my advice for the night, for everybody. Okay. Don't throw a rock. But I'm going to go Great Ball. I want to have this guy around. I'm going to hang out with my new friend, Lieutenant Surge, and see what kind of stuff maybe we're making this guy into a secret special warfare bomb as we go take over the world or something.
Yeah, you can make a fart suit out of him. Zach,
stop it. It's not farts. It's noxious gas. It's poisonous.
Yeah, kind of like when I'm around you after you've had too much taboola.
Taboola. No, anything with milk in it. I'm lactose intolerant. Thank you.
Sorry. Zach eats some ice cream and his tum-tum gets upset. I'm a little conflicted. I almost want to flee.
Oh my gosh.
I almost want to flee, but I think when you also think of a Pokemon and the things that you don't like about it, you need to take into consideration that your opponent will almost certainly also not like those things about it.
Mm-hmm.
And with that in mind, I think you could win a Pokemon fight by just throwing a Koffing and not even having it attack, just have it hang out by the opposing trainer. Like, Koffing, loiter. Like, they'll just hang out by the other Pokemon trainer, and like after enough gas, they'll be, I submit. Like,
yeah,
that's what I imagine.
You don't ever actually use him in the Pokemon battle. It's like, and Charmander, go out, and then you're like secretly like, hey, just go
Koffing,
sit over there, Koffing.
Go mingle with the other Pokemon.
Like, hey guys.
So with that in mind, I'll give a Pokeball. It's time for the Pokemon Power Ranking. This is our 25th main episode of the Pokemon Power podcast. Happy 25th episode, Zach. That's an important number.
I know we could do it.
This podcast can rent a car. This is our 25th main episode of the Pokemon Power podcast, and reading through the list has become unwieldy. If you want a refresher on the entire list, check out our Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, all at Pokepowpod, where we update the power ranking weekly. And hey, we did this last week, so I'm sure we're gonna never fail on that ever again. But I'm gonna pull the list up here.
Yes,
and I'm gonna pull the list up here. I think, Zach. Mm-hmm. This is another mid-tier Pokemon, because we've had some real tops. Snorlax is still sitting at the top, and I don't think Koffing, holds a candle to Snorlax. Although, you know what happens.
Tell me if you think this is crazy.
Candles.
Tell me if you think this is crazy. Okay.
Tell me.
I'm gonna say, fight me on it. Okay, but 15.
15?
Yeah.
I was actually gonna go higher, Zach.
Oh, you were? Well, I was having a hard time putting him higher than Charmeleon, because I feel like Charmeleon is going to do a fire attack. It's going to ignite everything that's around Koffing. He explodes into a million pieces.
That's mutually assured destruction. I think they both blow up if that happens.
Both blow up in that situation.
But I think if you keep going, if you like Jigglypuff, do we think Jigglypuff's really going to beat a Koffing?
I mean, I think that Koffing has some. I mean, Koffing can put the Jigglypuff to sleep before it puts it to sleep. I do think that Koffing has that. It's got poison.
Zach, I was going to go at 11. That's where I was thinking.
Really?
I was thinking 11. It would sit right underneath Victory Bell.
Pikachu.
Above Pikachu. I think just above Pikachu. Pikachu's behind Koffing and live sniffing up those farts.
Here's the thing. I don't know. I feel like there's so much in the Pokedex for Koffing that has him like, it's like specifically electric is like bad for him.
Self-destruct. Here's just my thought. Self-destruct is a very early move for him to learn. By the time you're in like catching a Koffing in the game, self-destruct is something that he almost certainly already has. So if we're taking into consideration that he's willing to win any fight by self-destructing, I think he's going to go pretty high. That's a super strong move.
But does that count as a win? I mean, isn't he dying each time?
He doesn't die. He faints.
I know, but is he in?
I mean, I thought refills with this toxic
fight is
gas.
In the fight is in the wild, So how is he reviving himself?
Mewtwo
I feel like in
comes
the wild
along and heals him.
I feel like in the wild, like some
Detective
Pokemon
Pikachu
is knocking themselves out all the time.
Moral heals him. I don't know.
It's not implying strength. It's not implying power. This dude's just like, I'm a butt. And then I'm going to be passed out for a month.
Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z went all out all the time, and he loses a lot. But you know what? Vegeta, and I think even the most anti-Vegeta skeptic, like Vegeta's like number 3 strength-wise. Like he's very high up there because he's willing to give his all. And you know what? At like level 24, something like that, Koffing's willing to give it all. He's willing to self-destruct and take down the opponent. So I think he's going to be a huge asset in any fight. And we said we clarified this. This would be if this was in the real world.
Yeah.
If you had this Pokemon, who do you want in your fight to win the fight? And I think I'd
lay down my
Pikachu.
arms. I'd lay down my arms at number 12. But I think that Pikachu has the speed, has the skill. Even, I mean, if Koffing is self-destructing, he doesn't just do it immediately. He's like working up to it. He's like puffing his face out.
Mine does immediately. I don't want to hang out with this Koffing.
No.
I throw my Pokemon. Like, self-destruct.
You know, he's over there self-destructing. And then Pikachu in the wild just goes, I'm running away from this guy, this weirdo. And he just zips off. And then he also just shoots a little lightning bolt back at him and just blows him up quicker.
I just run immediately back to the Pokemon Center, healed my Koffing, come back out, have him fart at him again. Okay, fine. I'm fine to settle there. He's above Nidorino at 13, behind Pikachu at 11, sitting dead center. Was this the second time we put someone dead center on the list, essentially? But I'm fine with that.
It could be that we're not that great at power ranking, just putting everyone in the middle. New Pokemon, middle.
Well, one of the weeks before that, we put Shelter at the very end of it. So
that's true. We know who's
we really only know
we're good at that.
2 sections on the list, the middle and the end. And that's where we put our Pokemon. Zach, anything you want to say in closing?
To all our listeners and viewers out there, sometimes, you know, we all smell sometimes, especially if your name is Alex. And the stories I could tell you at college of just living on a floor with him. Sometimes we all behind his back would call him Koffing. You know, we say, "Oh, stinky Koffing's coming back on the floor." I'm trying to. I can't do it. Just no matter what, we love you. That's what I want to say. Even if you're a stinky Alex.
You know
Koffing.
what? I wanted to turn this around, and I was going to say, you know, at the beginning of the podcast, we were combative, and I just want to come back and say that I love my brother Zach. And never mind. I end it so mean.
You come at me at the beginning, I'm going to come at you at the end.
I'll come for your throat. As always, the Pokemon Power Podcast was podcast for you. Bulbapedia.bulbagarden.north.net, not .north. Cerebi.org and Dr. Lava White Tea. If you'd like to learn more about Pokemon, those would be great resources for you. If you'd like to ask us a question about next week's Pokemon, which there won't be. This is the last episode of this show I'm doing with this monster.
I tried Bulbapedia.north. Nothing's coming up.
I'm guessing that took you to nowhere. If you'd like to submit a game or just keep up with the podcast, you can find us on most social media platforms at Pokepowpod. And as always, we would like to say, whether you're a fart machine, a toot trier, a stinky Sam, we love you, baby. We choose you. That's what I say at the end. Have a great week.
Choose you.
Bye.
Bye.